And they will take a 2-game lead in the division. And as bad as this has looked for Seattle, Charles, the reality is, their chances to make the playoffs certainly take a hit, but they still have a shot here.
Still got a shot. Remember, they will be tied with Atlanta, right, when this one's over. Correct?
If Atlanta loses tomorrow.
If Atlanta loses tomorrow, excuse me. Atlanta goes to Tampa Bay. So if somehow that happens and they're tied, Atlanta has a tiebreaker, but you still got 2 games left in the season. So they play that out at Dallas, at home against Arizona. If they find a way to pick themselves up, which Seattle has done many times before, and win those last couple, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean,
they keep the pressure on Atlanta to win down the stretch. And Atlanta has divisional games. They've got to go to New Orleans and then finish it up.
And now there's a late flag, and I wonder if they're going to call safety here.
Offense
they will.
3. There was no receiver in the area. Foul occurred in the end zone for a safety.
Wow.
That doesn't fit exactly what's going on today for Seattle. I don't know what does.
I didn't initially think that was grounding. Well, let's watch and see if it was.
Because they usually give the benefit of the doubt. And see, to me, that's a receiver running a route and a quarterback thinking it's a different route. And you see him there, and he's thinking the receiver is going to break to the sideline.
That's not grounding. I'm sorry.
And the receiver breaks to the middle, and that leaves it wide open, thus no receiver in the area. So by letter of the law, they've got him because they can't think along with Russell Wilson like we can. We know what he's trying to do, but they can't do that. They have to administer it that way. Thus the grounding penalty occurs. But that just kind of fits the day for Seattle.
I guess it does. I mean, I get it. That is, you're right, by letter of the law. But, I mean, common sense, that's not grounding. He wasn't being pressured in his face.
And normally they give them a heavy benefit of the doubt on plays like that. But I think they felt like it was so open. Like there was no one there. Because the receiver had broken off to the post instead of breaking to the sideline.
You have to be under some duress, right? Was he under duress? I don't.
You don't have to be. Not at all. You just have to make that throw. And he was in the end zone, and there's your call.
I guess as long as somebody's in the area, that's the deal. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. 42-7 now is the score.
And now we have a free kick. And we're getting a little bit of everything in this game.
We are.
And for the Rams, who are thinking playoffs now, you're adding to all the different things that you may have to face going down the line. You get to practice it.
Here's Cooper. Pharaoh Cooper, big hole again. Pharaoh Cooper gets to the edge. And then out to midfield. Man, Pharaoh Cooper has been spectacular. But Charles, as the Rams will take the field, I do want to finish on Seattle. So, okay, they need help, right?
Yep.
The Falcons have a tough schedule, but the Falcons could also win that division. They control their own destiny. But how about picking yourself off the mat here after a crushing loss in this type of game? They've done it a lot.
They've done it before. Maybe not to this extent in terms of this type of a loss, but they've been in so many tough situations before. So I would always lean towards Seattle figuring it out.
Because they have.
Because they have before. Track record tells you that. The key is all these injuries. How much has it sapped this team? They should get KJ Wright back next week, their linebacker. Well, Bobby Wagner, with another week, get better with his hamstring. He's been playing with it for over a month now.
Yep.
Okay, you're not getting back Richard Sherman or Cam Chancellor, so you let that part go. But they've got to get so much better on the offensive line in a short amount of time, because everyone's seeing this tape now. You think right now DeMarcus Lawrence, when he watches this tape at defensive end, is not going to be excited to try and rush the passer? That's where they've got to get things figured out.
It'll be a 2nd and 2. Austin remains the primary running back. And they'll get it to him, and a little dance, and fighting forward will be a little bit shy of a first down. So we talked about the offensive improvement for the Rams, right? I mean, just look at this. Last year, 14 points a game. It was the worst in the NFL. It's amazing to think that you jump all the way up to 30.5 this year with the new coaching staff and everything else that's gone into it. It's the largest scoring increase from the previous year in NFL history. There's only 2 other teams ahead of them. Check it out. 16.5 points more per game this year. The Cleveland Bulldogs in 1924.
This franchise don't even exist. It's right, the Bulldogs, the New York Yanks.
It's unbelievable. 3rd down and 1. And that is a first down for Los Angeles. But just, on Seattle finishing up, right? No one questions this team's mettle. No one questions this team's coaching staff. The magic of that guy, number 3. And everybody has a bad week, okay? So this looks bad because of the magnitude of the game. But at some point, with injuries and personnel, you just wonder if at some point it runs out.
Don't forget, this is a team that's gone 5 straight years to the playoffs.
Right.
How many, what was it, 7 of 8? Is that the correct number? Whatever that number is, it's a long run, which means what? Extra games every year for your core players. So if you think about it in the NBA, if you think about it in baseball, right? The extra wear and tear, that accumulation of extra time, that sometimes wears on a team as well. And Seattle has as much extra time as darn near anyone in the league.
Yeah. So I thought that Austin had the first down there, but they mark him short as they measure it. So he is, I don't know, a few inches short. So 4th and inches coming up here.
Go for it here.
I'm sure McVay will.
And I think they'll run the ball here.
Unlike the last 4th and inches.
That one, I think he really thought he had something on that would fool them. I thought quarterback sneaker Gurley, but look, they ended up getting the ball right back and scoring anyway, so it really didn't hurt them at all.
You got to give a lot of credit, Charles, to these Seattle fans. It's one of the greatest places to come to broadcast a game, and most have stayed most of this time to just recently. The ones that are here are still into it. Kudos. 4th and inches. A sneak by Mannion, and he's got it. Well, Andrew Whitworth is out of the game now. They took him out the rest. But, boy, you give him credit, right? Tuesday, he bought 550 bikes and helmets for each kid at Grape Street Elementary. That's in Watts, California. It's also his 36th birthday. What a way to spend it, making all those kids feel great around the holidays. That is awesome.
He did say that when it was time to pick a team as a free agent, he and his wife wanted to go to a place where they could help make a difference and help build a franchise. And he picked they picked Los Angeles Rams, and you see he's doing it in both places.
Am I out of bounds?
And off.
Am I out of bounds by saying it's been as impactful a free agent signing as anybody in the league?
You're not out of bounds, because look at what it's done with this team. Last year, we just showed it. They scored 14 points a game. And what was one of the biggest criticisms of this team? Offensive line play, not getting it done. Getting Whitworth, getting Saffold into a better position at guard. I think the John Sullivan signing at center has been awfully impactful as well to help take care of things, because he takes care of a young quarterback and takes line calls off of his plate.
He does. That was Sullivan, so he and Whitworth out of the game. Here's Austin looking to dance and move and stutter step his way out to the 34-yard line. Well, if you're in Eastern or Central time zone joining us to see A Christmas Story live, don't worry, you won't miss a moment, promise. We're going to start from the beginning once our game is over. For those of you on the West Coast, you'll see it at 7 p.m. Pacific time as scheduled. Look forward to that. It has felt like Christmas for Aaron Donald. He was the man today.
Did a game a few years ago. Yeah, that kind of sums up Christmas right now in Seattle, doesn't it?
Sure does.
I did a game a few years ago. Aaron Donald watched game tape on Christmas Day at the Rams facility trying to get ready for his next game.
Oh my. 3rd down. And the handoff to Brown is going to be shy of a 4th. So the Rams taking a step closer to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Last appearance in the playoffs as the LA Rams. Well, that was back in '89. That's a long time ago. Last appearance franchise history was 04. That year they were 8-8. It's been a while, okay? And check this out. So where were they in 04? Jared Goff was 10. Sean McVay was 18. He was the quarterback in Miami of Ohio.